Hey everyone, Alex here. I talk about self-improvement, simple living, mindful consumption, and fragrance. And I haven't posted any videos in the last couple of weeks because as you can see, I've been moving house and there's a bit of a different backdrop here. So over the next few weeks, I'm gonna take some time and try and find a really good place in the house to film these videos. But just work with me here. I'm making do with what I've got, but I wanted to get on here regardless and make a video on the fragrances that I've been wearing in the high heat here in South Australia. So at the moment it's summer for us, and particularly in the city that I live, we have extremely dry, hot summers. And as somebody who, to be honest, I prefer the rain and I prefer when it's cold and when it's gloomy, it can be a time where I don't really want to wear fragrances because it's just too hot and suffocating. But there are a few fragrances in my collection that I do wear because I really don't want to leave the house without fragrance. So we're going to talk about those. So starting with the fragrance that I've been wearing more often than pretty much anything else, Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum. This is becoming a bit of a signature for me for the high heat. I absolutely love everything about this. It's dry, fresh, crisp, and there's a beautiful opening grapefruit note, or synthetic grapefruit. I don't remember who was saying it. I think it might be Aaron Terence Hughes, who said that actual grapefruit becomes toxic in the sun, so they have to use synthetic grapefruit. Either way, it smells amazing, and I absolutely love Grey Vetiver. This is probably one of my favorite fragrances of all time, and I remember initially buying it when I was much younger, and it didn't really suit me as much when I was younger and a little bit less refined and less sophisticated, but as I've grown and matured, this is becoming an absolute favorite of mine. So Tom Ford Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum, this will always be in my collection, and especially for the high heat, this is absolutely perfect because it's also super versatile and I can wear it to work, I can wear it on a date, I can wear it just hanging around home. It's absolutely perfect in my opinion. The next fragrance that I've been wearing that has actually surprised me quite a lot is Coach for Men. Now, this is a super cheap fragrance. I think I paid about $30 for this. And for such a cheap fragrance, I think it smells a lot more expensive than it really is. If you're somebody that really likes Dior Sauvage and you like that clean, fresh, slightly synthetic DNA, this is probably worth checking out. Because it is so cheap, I feel comfortable saying check it out. Don't go and blind buy, but if you do happen to come across it in the store, check it out because it's quite a nice fragrance and it's very, very crisp. And it's got a note of pear, which is something that you don't really see too much in men's fragrances. It's just really fresh and it has this beautiful suede dry down, so it smells clean and fresh and a little bit sensual, especially on the dry down. And I actually layer this with the next fragrance that I'm going to talk about, which is Molecule O2. Now, Molecule O2 is one that I wear predominantly as a layering fragrance. I did buy it because everyone was saying that it was just perfect on its own and that this is a compliment beast, and I have to admit that I fell into the hype there. On its own, I don't really wear it because I can't smell much, and even, people will say that other people will smell it on you. Maybe they can. I haven't had a single comment on this when I've worn it on its own, but I've noticed that pretty much every time I wear this and I layer it with another fragrance, such as Coach for Men, my partner absolutely loves it. She just cannot get enough of how I smell when I've got this layered with another fragrance. And almost every time I go out, no matter what fragrance it is, if I've got this layered with it, I tend to get compliments. Again, this is my experience. I'm not telling you to go and blind buy this. I never ever recommend blind buying anything. This is just my experience with this. I find that in the high heat, because it's so subtle, I can wear this and layer it with some other fragrances. And I tend to get not necessarily better performance, but I certainly get more comments when I layer this. So this is one that I wear, in the super high heat because it's not going to cut through the cold at all, but it tends to work really well with some of my fresher fragrances. Now, in addition to Molecule O2, I also wear Molecule O1, but this is one that I do wear just on its own a lot of the time because it's so inoffensive. You can kind of just chuck it on and go if you're in a mood to not really wear fragrance, but you still want to just have that little bit of a nice subtle smell. Molecule O1's perfect for that, and that's usually what I use it for. And I've made a pretty decent dent in this, although I was saying in another video, this is not one that I would buy again because for what it is, it's exceptionally expensive. but it is quite nice. And so I wear this a lot in the high heat when it's just too suffocating and I don't want to be wearing another actual fragrance. I spray this on, I know that I smell a little bit clean, a little bit musky, and I'm happy to go about my business. So this is really a t-shirt and jeans kind of fragrance when I'm just doing, running some errands or something like that. So that's Molecule 01. The next fragrance is one that I am honestly not a huge fan of, but I've been wearing it more just to kind of get rid of it. This is Bohemian Lime by Goldfield and Banks. Now, I have to be honest about this brand. I'm not really the biggest fan of them. And it kind of hurts me to say that because they are an Australian brand and I really want to support them, but every single fragrance of theirs that I've tried, they just kind of smell like household cleaning products. And so they certainly smell clean, but to me, they don't smell like perfume at all. They really do just smell like cleaning products. Like this is something that I would expect to smell if I was spraying my bathroom with a cleaner, like a spray and wipe. That's what this smells like to me. But because it's clean and I've got, just a little, I think this is like 10 mil or something. I'm happy just to use it when I'm just kind of doing a bit of a grab and go, and I might be going to the service station to fill up my car or going to the shops to grab some groceries. I'll throw on Bohemian Lime. Or if I'm going to the beach, it's pretty perfect for that because you just spray it on. You don't really care too much about how you smell, but you just want to have that little bit of a light touch of fragrance. That's when I use this. But really, I just want to get rid of it. So that's kind of the main reason that I'm wearing it. I haven't been very impressed by any of their fragrances I've tried. I think it's called Desert Rosewood. I've tried Pacific Rock Moss. I've tried Ingenious Ginger. None of them have impressed me at all. So yeah, kind of isolating myself from working with that brand, which is cool with me because I just don't really like their products. So sorry guys, but yeah, I really don't like Bohemian Lime at all. I've just been wearing it to get rid of it. The next fragrance is one that it's a bit of a love-hate relationship. This is H24 by Hermes. Now, I'm actually lucky because I dropped this bottle on my tiles a couple of days ago, but because the base of it is so thick, it hasn't leaked, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't. But this is a very, very fresh fragrance. Some people love it, some people hate it, and I'm kind of on both sides of the fence depending on the day. For the most part, I do like how this smells, and I especially love the opening because it's quite juicy. And I know that this is not one of the notes, but to me, it almost smells like a green banana, like a banana that's not fully ripe yet. And it smells really clean to me. And especially when it's super, super hot outside, I find that this is just this is what I want to smell like, because for me, it's uplifting, it's juicy and it's vibrant, but it's not going to last for hours and hours and start to kind of choke me or other people out. So I find that if I'm just going about my day, typically I work from home. And so this is the type of fragrance that I would just wear because it's hot and I'm working from home. I'll just chuck this on just to kind of liven up the mood a little bit and just have a bit of a refresh. So H24 by Hermes. The only thing is I would like this fragrance more if the opening lasted longer and the dry down just wasn't really a thing. I wish it was a little bit more linear because the dry down to me falls flat and it smells it just smells really quite boring, but the opening is amazing. So if the opening of this was what the fragrance smelled like the whole time, I would wear it a lot more. It's just, yeah, unfortunately now this is a bit of a grab and go, like most of these, and that's kind of how I feel pretty much all the time in summer. I just want grab and go fragrances because I don't really feel like myself when it's hot. So that's just the truth. But H24 by Hermes, this is nice. The other flankers are really nice as well, the Eau de Parfum and the Herbe Vive as well, like the really green, juicy one. They're all nice, but all of them just fall flat in the dry down, unfortunately. So anyway, I still enjoy it, but I enjoy the opening more than the dry down. Okay, moving on to the final fragrance, and this is another one that I won't be rebuying, even though I love it. This is Gentle Fluidity Silver by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Now, this smells like a really fresh, really, really cold, clean gin and tonic. It's beautiful, but I was saying in an earlier video, to me, this gives similar vibes to Green Irish Tweed by Creed, which I wear far more often. But I've been wearing this a lot because this is more appropriate for the super, super high heat. When it's, 38 to 42 degrees Celsius, this is perfect for that because it smells cold. It actually smells like a gin and tonic that's got a bunch of ice shavings or chips in it. And it's beautiful. The only thing is, similar to H24, it's not as linear as I would like it to be. I really love the opening, but when it dries down, it becomes more sensual. Sensual. It also becomes a little bit more kind of warm and spicy and ambery, which I do love, but when it's super high heat, I find that the opening for this is better than the dry down, although it's still perfect for the high heat. So those are the fragrances that I've been wearing more often than not over the last couple of months. Fortunately for me, we're coming to the end of summer in a couple of weeks, so it's still going to be pretty hot, but I'm looking forward to opening up my fragrance rotation to some of my kind of colder weather scents. There are so many beautiful scents that I'm really looking forward to wearing and talking about a little bit more. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What are the fragrances that you're wearing at the moment? Which ones have you been reaching for more often? And any other ideas for videos, please do comment below and let me know. And if I think it's a suitable video idea, I'll probably make it as a video. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and we'll speak soon.